Just when you thought that the fast-paced platformer games that you know and love were dying out, and you were never going to get to see your favorite RPG released by some Studio Red or whatever, in stepped one of the best themed and platformer games possibly created. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Watermelon Rating. This week's game is Ghostrunner, published by All In Games and 505 Games. It was a co-publishing, released on October 27th in 2020. This was in between the last delay for Cyberpunk 2077, so if you didn't know what I was talking about in the beginning of the video, that's what I meant. Ghostrunner is a Cyberpunk-themed platformer game, and it was kind of refreshing for me to see this title. One of my favorite game series and all-time favorite game is Mirror's Edge Catalyst and the whole Mirror's Edge series. I believe that platformers have kind of died off in recent times, and they've become so worn out in the industry. Without further ado, let's get into this Watermelon Rating. The story of Ghostrunner. In my opinion, it was kind of easy told. It was more like organic or cliche. So it's a story about an organization known as the Ghostrunners. They're kind of like drones created to do certain tasks. They sound like dark web hitmen. For example, you can protect politicians, or they are assassins or whatever. I think in this story, your Ghostrunner, I think is 77, is an assassin, but aimed at taking down the organization that created him. The story arc is, like I said, very cliche. It's got the main villain, the villain's lackey, and a bunch of low-level dudes that work for the villain. And that's basically the whole game. I don't think the story is the most exciting part of this game. I feel like it's more of how the game works and the gameplay of it. That's more the core of this game. Moving on into the gameplay, Ghostrunner has that old-fashioned repetitive platformer style gameplay. The combat is very fast and very smooth. I feel like it doesn't take a lot to understand the intense routes or intense motives of the game. It kind of holds your hand as you walk through. And with this game being extremely fast, it does require some quick reflexes and quick planning so that you can succeed in your runs. The graphics of this game are quite unique. Following the Cyberpunk aesthetic, I think they did a really good job of sticking to the theme. However, the colors aren't vibrant enough, at least for me. The entire game looks very dim. Aside from that, it's got very nice artwork, very unique style to it as well. And for the replayability, I mean, it's absolutely infinite. If you are in for competition, all the runs and levels are timed, as a platformer should be, and you can even go for some certain types of runs. Like, obviously there's your traditional speed runs, and then there are deathless runs, because this game does have a death counter. They introduced a new timed game mode, I think a couple months ago, which introduces new stages, but the trick is you have an actual time limit, not just counting time. So you'll compete with other people, and basically whoever has the most time after the finish line gets the highest score. Pretty neat aspect, I think, and it opens this game up to a lot more playability. If they even continue to make those new stages, I think that would be a good thing. There's also the hard game mode in the story mode. Not much to it other than it's harder, more enemies. That's about it. And with that, that would conclude this Watermelon Rating. Ghostrunner is a relatively small game. Ghostrunner received a Watermelon rating of 4 watermelons, and a definite play from me. Life switched up, don't know where to go. After all this time, you're still in my phone. Traded so much time and got so far. Like things ain't changed, stuck at the start. Gave it my all, but had to let go. Trying to save me from myself.